It's not what you have, it's what you can make.
In the sea of often repetitive car customization shows, a few truly break the mold. They aren't just about bolting on pricey parts or slapping on a flashy paint job, they're about raw, untamed artistry. Bad Chad Customs was one of those shows. It felt less like a program and more like a philosophy, proof that with enough imagination, you could turn literal junk into a jaw-dropping masterpiece. For 2 seasons, viewers were hooked on Chad Hiltz, the maverick from rural Nova Scotia, who built rolling sculptures with scrap metal, a shoestring budget, and an almost magical vision. His workshop, Hiltz Auto Co., wasn't some pristine corporate-sponsored garage. It was a creative sanctuary where the impossible was welded into reality. Where else would you find a master builder who preferred using a common coat hanger for welding? Wire, not because he had to, but as a matter of principle? Or someone who could look at a rusted-out 1930s Oldsmobile and see a one-of-a-kind truck? That was the magic of Bad Chad. It was gritty, authentic, and refreshingly real in a world of overproduced reality TV. The show quickly gathered a fiercely loyal fan base who were tired of cookie-cutter builds and craved genuine craftsmanship. Chad, with his partner and business, manager Jolene McIntyre, and his son Colton, didn't just build cars. They told stories with metal. For 2 unforgettable seasons, Bad Chad Customs was a beacon for automotive dreamers. It was a certified hit. Then, on October 12, 2020, after the final episode of Season 2, the show just vanished. There was no grand finale, no official cancellation announcement from the Discovery Channel, and no farewell tour. Just silence. The engine that roared so loudly suddenly went quiet, leaving millions of fans confused and asking the same question. What happened? For years, the internet did what it does best. It exploded with speculation, with theories ranging from low ratings and creative disputes to personal drama. But the real story is far more complex. It's a story about a fierce battle for creative control, the crushing personal toll of fame, and an artist's refusal to compromise his soul for television. Today, we're finally revealing the true reason Bad Chad Customs ended. To really get why the show disappeared, we have to remember why it was so special. Chad Hiltz wasn't a character created for television. Television discovered him because he was already a legend. Born in Kingsport, Nova Scotia, Chad's fascination with cars was practically in his blood. He grew up around his parents' gas station, a world of grease and gasoline where he learned the language of machines. After dropping out of high school, he bet everything on his one true passion: cars. His philosophy was born from necessity and forged in pure ingenuity. While other builders relied on expensive tools and mail-order parts, Chad's playground was the junkyard. He saw potential where others just saw rust. He wasn't just restoring cars, he was giving them a new soul, crafted from forgotten automotive scraps. His mentor was the legendary customizer Gene Winfield, who saw a kindred spirit in Chad's unorthodox methods. Long before Discovery came knocking, Chad was earning his reputation the hard way, winning awards at shows like World of Wheels and earning the coveted Master Builder title. He was pioneering a new approach, proving that creativity always triumphs over cash. The road to TV stardom wasn't something he was chasing. It just happened. It was Jolene McIntyre, his partner, who first started documenting his builds. She began filming Chad's process of building a replica of a multi-million-dollar Bugatti on a laughably small budget. The videos she posted started gaining traction, and production companies took notice. They saw what the fans saw: a raw, unfiltered talent with a personality as unique as his creations. When Bad Chad Customs premiered on January 1, 2019, it was a breath of fresh air. The show captured the raw, honest process of building. No manufactured drama, no fake deadlines for tension. The drama was in the work itself, Could Chad really turn a pile of scrap into a show-worthy vehicle? Time and again, the answer was a resounding yes. Viewers were captivated by the transformation of a 1934 Dodge Airflow coupe into a stunning promotional truck, or the sheer guts of building a car with two hoods flipped on their sides to form a unique front end. The show's success was built on this authenticity. It was a family affair, with Jolene managing the business and Chad's son Colton often by his side. It felt real because it was. By the end of its first season, Bad Chad Customs was more than just another car show. It was a movement. Fans were tuning in to connect with the spirit of a small-town artist taking on the world on his own terms. Season 2 was just as strong, and according to Chad, they were even signed to film a third season in early 2021. But behind the success, cracks were starting to form. The show's raw authenticity was on a collision course with the rigid demands of network television. On October 12, 2020, the final episode of Season 2 aired, and fans waited for a return date that never came. The screen went dark, and the silence was deafening. Days turned into weeks, then months. The show's social media went quiet, and Bad Chad Customs was nowhere on Discovery's schedule. For the show's dedicated audience, it was baffling. How could a show this popular and unique just disappear? The most confusing part was the total lack of official communication. Networks usually issue a press release when a show is canceled to provide closure. But for Bad Chad Customs, there was nothing but a void. This radio silence from Discovery became the fertile ground for a forest of rumors. Fans took to forums and social media to solve the mystery. Was it about ratings? That seemed unlikely. The show had a passionate and highly engaged niche audience, the exact kind of demographic that networks covet. Plus, its international reach was significant, with viewers drawn to Chad's unique Canadian ingenuity. The ratings argument just didn't hold up. So, if not ratings, then what? The online detective work began, fueled by whispers and anonymous insider comments. This uncertainty was agonizing for fans, who felt abandoned by the network and were left to fill the information vacuum with their own theories. The silence felt like a deliberate erasure of a show they loved, deepening the mystery of what really happened behind closed doors. With no official word, the fan community put the show's disappearance on trial. The speculation ran wild, but a few key theories gained the most traction. The first and most persistent rumor was that Chad never actually finished his builds. Trolls and skeptics claimed the cars were just rolling sculptures for the camera, not fully functional vehicles. This rumor was especially damaging because it attacked Chad's credibility as a builder. Another popular theory was that the show was largely faked or staged. Critics on car forums would pick apart his methods, mocking his use of Bondo or unconventional welding, claiming no real builder would work that way and that it must be for TV drama. These rumors painted a picture of a show that had betrayed its promise of authenticity. Then there was the idea of a personal falling out, perhaps a major fight between Chad and Jolene, or a split within the Hiltz Auto Kummer team. For a long time, Chad and his team stayed quiet, which only added fuel to the fire. But eventually, Chad started addressing the rumors directly to his fans. He fired back, hard, against claims that he never finished his cars. In a 2021 YouTube video, he gave a full tour of his personal collection, showcasing the incredible one-off customs from the show, all finished, all real. He pointed to vehicles like the infamous Green Goblin as proof of his hard work. He also clarified his deal with Discovery. He built the cars, they produced the show, and he and Jolene kept full ownership of every vehicle. This fact alone dismantled the rumor that the cars were just temporary props. They were his art, his property. Chad's mission, he stated, was to inspire people and show them that nothing is impossible with hard work. These refutations were a direct counterpunch, but they also raised a bigger question. If the rumors weren't true, why would a network walk away from a popular, authentic show? The true reason for the end of Bad Chad Customs wasn't one thing, but a perfect storm of pressures. A three-front war Chad Hiltz fought against: creative interference, personal stress, and a global crisis. The first and biggest battle was over creative control. The show's success began to threaten the raw, improvisational spirit that made it special. Chad's entire brand was built on doing things his own way, building without a blueprint, a process that doesn't fit neatly into the rigid production schedules of a major TV network. As the show's profile grew, so did the network's desire for more control. They allegedly wanted a more polished format, pushing for things Chad's entire career was a rebellion against. This clash between creativity and commerce likely reached a breaking point, with Chad refusing to compromise the essence of his craft. The second front was the immense personal stress of fame. The grind of television production is relentless, and the transition from local builder to international TV personality was jarring. Suddenly, Chad's life wasn't his own. He was recognized everywhere, and his work was scrutinized by millions online. The pressure of filming while running his business created a crushing workload that took a toll on his mental health. The joy he found in his work was being eroded by the constant pressure to live up to the Bad Chad myth. The final blow came from an unexpected force: the COVID-19 pandemic. Just as plans for a third season were in motion, the world shut down. The pandemic brought TV production to a grinding halt, making filming in a tight workshop nearly impossible. It also caused a massive financial fallout, with networks slashing budgets for smaller niche shows. An article in Saltwire confirmed that Season 3's production was shut down due to the pandemic, and after it was delayed, Chad and Jolene decided to go their own way rather than wait in limbo. So it wasn't a single event. It was a combination of a creative vision too wild for corporate TV, the deep personal cost of fame, and a global pandemic that served as the final blow. Faced with compromising his art and his well-being, Chad Hiltz walked away from the television deal. It's clear the story of Bad Chad Customs is about more than a TV show. It's about an artist protecting his integrity. If you love getting the real story behind your favorite shows, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. When the cameras left, Chad Hiltz didn't disappear. He went back to the garage and got to work, but this time he was playing by his own rules. The end of the TV show wasn't the end of the brand, it was a liberation. Chad and Jolene pivoted their full attention back to YouTube. Freed from the constraints of producers, Chad shared his work in its purest form. The content became, as Jolene described it, very raw and authentic. Instead of cramming a months-long build into a 44-minute episode, they shared the daily grind, the mistakes, the triumphs, and the tedious work TV often cuts out. The fans responded with overwhelming support. They loved Chad's authenticity, and now they were getting it unfiltered. His YouTube channel exploded in popularity, quickly surpassing 300,000 subscribers and continuing to grow. The videos, often an hour long and posted daily, racked up hundreds of thousands of views. And here's the most telling part: they found more success on their own than they ever did with a major network. In an interview, Chad stated that while TV is often seen as the peak, they have enjoyed far more financial success and a larger viewership since focusing on social media. He proudly declared, "We've turned a TV proposition into a multi-million-dollar YouTube channel." During the 2 years of filming, they had to turn away customers. Now, they were in complete control of their business and their brand. They launched successful merchandise, secured their own sponsorships, and even declined a 7-figure offer to buy into their YouTube channel, choosing to stay independent. This new chapter was also a personal success. The pressure was off. Chad was no longer playing a character. He was just being himself. He could connect directly with his fans without a corporate filter. His son, Colton, who had been on hiatus, rejoined him in the videos, restoring the family dynamic that was so central to the brand's appeal. Chad was finally doing what he loved on his own terms and was being rewarded for it more than ever. He had proven that his talent and his connection with his audience were more powerful than any TV network. So, what's the true reason Bad Chad Customs ended? It ended because Chad Hiltz chose authenticity over fame. It ended because his raw, junkyard dog creativity was too big for the polished box of network television. The show was a casualty of the timeless conflict between art and commerce. The pressure of fame and the grind of production took their toll, and the pandemic was the final push that led Chad and Jolene to reclaim their independence. But the end of the TV show wasn't a tragedy. It was a catalyst. It forced Chad to return to his roots and build an even bigger, more authentic empire on his own terms. Today, he reaches more people, has more creative freedom, and enjoys more success than ever. His story is a powerful testament that staying true to yourself is the ultimate measure of success. Discovery may have ended the show, but they couldn't silence the artist. Chad Hiltz didn't need a TV show to become a legend. He already was one. The show just let the rest of the world in on the secret for a while. What do you think? Was Chad right to walk away? And do you prefer the polished builds of the Discovery show or the raw content on his YouTube channel? Let us know in the comments.